This morning for you on Daybreak, we check in with Springfield Public Schools to see its plans for Prop S funding this summer.
And we continue our Courageous Conversation series this morning, talking about a shift in the hiring demographic that employers are trying to adapt to.
Plus, we're getting ready to host some professional bull riders this morning, us here at Color 10, before they head to Cassville tomorrow to honor a friend from the Ozarks. We'll have these stories and more coming up for you on Daybreak.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us. You made it to Friday. It's May 10th. I'm Lauren Barnes.
And I'm Joe Morano. The Bulls are, of course, honoring Mason Lowe, the Ozarks rider who passed a few months ago. Great event for that. But we are hosting the Bulls.
Yes.
Or a bull.
Hannah Zettel, we're actually going to let her take care of that outside in the parking lot. No bull in the studio, but they will be on company grounds. Elisa's like, can you imagine? No, we can't.
This studio's too nice, right?
This studio is big enough, though. It is. I think it's big enough to fit a bull. But what happens?
Have you been around a bull?
There's a lot of space right there.
I know, but they move a lot.
Right, but imagine if it goes potty in here. That's a lot. You know what I'm saying?
What's the phrase, bull in a china cabinet?
Bull in a china shop.
I think that's what this situation would be. But it's going to be really fun.
I didn't think I'd hear go potty 1 minute into Daybreak at 5 a.m. today.
I mean, I hope it doesn't in the parking lot, because we're going to leave later on today.
All right.
It might be interesting out there.
That's in about 40 minutes, so you got to stick with us.
The bull, not the potty. Okay.
Oh, boy. We're looking at some weather, too, though. Cold waking up this morning, right?
Yeah. It bites out there this morning.
Did we get it back on the rails? We're good. We're good now.
Okay, yeah. Jackets at the bus stop this morning. We're in the 40s. We've got a couple of clouds in Springfield, starting out at 43 degrees, north winds at 7 miles per hour, so much chillier than we've been in quite a while out there this morning. We've got just a couple of clouds. It's mostly cloudy to overcast, no rain, no severe weather. Temperatures are about 15 to 20 degrees colder now than they were yesterday. It's 43 degrees in Springfield, 45 in Branson, and 45 in Fort Leonard Wood. Dry roads as we head through the day, not expecting any rain, so some green light conditions as you head to work and school. The kids need jackets out there this morning, though. 43 degrees at the bus stop, 63 by dismissal. We'll have some lingering cloud cover at temperatures on the cool side, but overall, not a bad day. It looks like Saturday will be more wet than previously forecasted, so we've got to talk about that. Plus, look at your Mother's Day forecast. We do that coming up in 10 minutes.
Beginning with some new information, parents and members of the Kickapoo High School community received a letter from the school last night alerting them to a video posted by a student on Snapchat, then shared on other social media platforms.
And the video contains, quote, incredibly offensive content, including statements of racism with suggestions of violence. This comes after recent issues at the high school, including back last month when students tore down LGBTQ posters and others drove through the parking lot with Confederate flags. The letter assures parents that the maximum scope of discipline as outlined in the handbook was applied for the student who posted the video, but the law does not allow the school to be specific in those disciplinary actions. Law enforcement and the Children's Division of the Missouri Department of Social Services have been made aware of this video as well, and the school has requested that it be taken down. Now, the school also informed parents that a care team of counselors will be on site at Kickapoo today to help reassure students and parents that it's a safe and inclusive place to learn.
Now, because of the content of the video, the school also has reached out to community partners like the NAACP to update them on the situation and share the school's response. The school says it's also asking the NAACP to help make the next steps toward healing the school community. The NAACP's president, Tony Robinson, shared a response on Facebook last night, saying in part the organization is working with SPS to hold them accountable. The Post also says the organization is asking for action now. We'll continue to update you, of course, as we learn some more information.
In other education coverage for you this morning, the school year is winding down for Springfield Public Schools. Work, though, is just beginning for the district, as last month, you'll recall, voters passed Proposition S. That's a $168 million bond issue to fund renovations and rebuild for the district. Director of Operations for SBS, Travis Shaw, says the main focuses will be on Delaware Elementary, Sunshine Elementary, and the new Early Childhood Center where Carver Middle School currently is. Finally, there will be secure entrances built at 31 different schools as well.
The majority of all the secure entrance work will be taking place over the summer. It will spill into the fall some, but that's 31 different sites, so we've got a lot of work going on throughout the campus.
If parents want more info on the construction schedule, we have the details when you find this story over on ozarksfirst.com.
In our Courageous Conversation, nobody's business. The large majority, 68% of HR professionals report having trouble finding people to fill full-time positions. That's according to the Society for Human Resource Management. Local HR staffers are working to stay ahead of that curve as the workforce experiences a demographic shift. Nija McDonald shows us how people who hire are changing their requirements.
Greg Burris of the United Way of the Ozarks says eliminating drug testing or hiring a convicted felon was more than likely not an option for some employers 10 or 15 years ago. But things have changed as there are now more jobs than quality people to fill those positions.
When supply exceeds demand versus demand exceeding supply, it changes everything.
Greg Burris of the United Way of the Ozarks says replacing baby boomers in the workplace will be a challenge.
Companies really need to be very intentional about this. They need to think about what's happening in their own organizations. They need to look at who's retiring over the next 5 years, what skills are being lost, and what skills they need to replace.
Which could mean considering a candidate an employer might not have considered in the past.
Employers are going to start looking at every able-bodied person. If you've had a felony on your record, depending on what type of felony that is and what type of job it is, it may be that they say, well, we'll overlook that and we're going to train you and we need somebody to work.
A national survey shows HR professionals say they've had difficulty recruiting suitable job candidates in the past year. That's according to the Society for Human Resource Management.
HR professionals here are a little better prepared for that, maybe a little more aware of the coming demographic change, and so that speaks well for our region.
Burr says it's important for companies to consider the things younger generations are asking for in an employer.
Skills development and training are going to be really at a premium because we're going to bring in people into the workforce who may need some training and some skills development, and I think those organizations that are willing to invest in their employees are going to be the winners.
Employee benefits consultant Tom Jensen says baby boomers are taking their knowledge with them when they retire. But Jensen sees this as an opportunity for growth within companies.
We actually have tried to address that and started to address that by hiring younger consultants, and the insurance industry and consulting faces a pretty big knowledge gap coming right around the corner, just as he was talking about. Most of my competitors are retirement age or very close to.
Jensen says it's important for baby boomers to pass their knowledge on to the newer generation of workers.
From a client standpoint, I've seen a lot of internal programs be developed for training and passing that knowledge. I say I've seen a lot of it, but there's still a great opportunity for employers to improve on that.
The takeaway for HR professionals, be more open-minded and take time to invest in potential employees, even if they don't come to the table with the skills they need. Burr says it's worth it for employers to train and teach those who are willing to learn.
Nija McDonald this morning. Don't forget, you can always catch up on our Courageous Conversation series by heading over to ozarksfirst.com and looking for the series on our site.
In your Right to Know this morning, the CEO of the child counseling organization Great Circle has been accused of child endangerment. Vincent Hillier is the CEO in Webster Groves, Missouri. He's facing 6 felony counts of endangering the welfare of a child and attempted endangerment. This comes after a state investigation at the facility. We reached out to Great Circle, and the statement they sent us says, quote, "Recent events will not distract us from the important work we do. Great Circle has strong leadership and staff in place who will work to ensure that these events do not have an impact on our operations and programs."
In your political coverage, rights for LGBTQ people in Missouri could change if a bill heard in Jeff City makes it through the legislative process. MissouriNet reports the bill would prevent anyone, including LGBTQ people, from being fired based on their sexual orientation or gender identity. The bill's sponsor says the bill is not special treatment for LGBTQ people. The bill has been filed each year for the past 21 years. Some businesses testified for the bill, saying it will improve the economy, but some religious organizations testified against it, one saying the bill could jeopardize some religious liberties.
We are just getting moving this morning. Still up for you on Daybreak. Uber prices its IPO on the lower end because of that worker strike earlier this week.
And President Trump makes good on his promise to increase Chinese import tariffs. That's all in your Money Watch up next.
From Color 10 Ozarks First, Lauren Barnes, Joe Morano, and weather with meteorologist Elisa Raffa. This is Color 10 News Daybreak.